Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another turbo quick knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the new WE Knives Fluxor, a 9-inch titanium frame lock. This is available. I'll link it down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and measure it. The overall length here is 9 inches. Blade length is coming in actually a little bit over 4 1/8, and cutting edge is actually just barely shy of 4 inches. So nice blade to handle ratios. Let's go ahead. A nice blade to handle ratio, sorry. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons up against my own Excalibur. Here's the mini, and here is the full size. You can see here, it is definitely a long knife. Let's put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue. And then let's just jump right to the Spyderco Para 3. It's a 9-inch folding knife. How's the action? Well, it's similar to a lot of other WE knives. This doesn't necessarily feel like the new, some of these WE knives feel like they have the sauce, and some of them feel like normal WE knives. I'm going to be honest with you, it just feels like a normal WE knife. It's good, right? It's fine. It's not blowing my socks off, but it's fine. Truthfully, I can't really feel the bearings too much, and it is nice and falsetty, but it doesn't have that glassy Crisco feel that some WE knives have. It's fine, though. It feels good. The detent strength is good, and it also has a nested liner lock, which is pretty cool. No double clutch or anything like that, flipper only. Let's do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This guy's a little bit thicker length and height up against the PM2. And Para 3 instead of the PM2 today, I think, what should we do? Maybe the Benchmade Griptilian, we'll do that one because the PM2, I think, is buried. This is actually not a difficult knife to carry. It's long, but it's got a fairly lean, at least this way, lean profile. A little thick, though. Definitely want people to understand that. What are we looking at for materials? We are looking at M390, again. WE knives, man. Occasionally they use Vanax, but guys, can you do some other stuff? Like, it's fine. M390 is a good steel. Vanax, I love Vanax, right? But 98% of your knives are 20 CV or M390. Switch it up, right? This is just like all their other M390, 59 to 61 at best. Some of the coated versions actually drop at a point to 58 to 60, which is not good enough. All M390 should be 60 minimum, preferably higher, 61, 62. That would be better, right? But this isn't. The weight, titanium, by the way, and for some reason, not a titanium lock bar, but just a basic steel lock bar. Functionally, it's fine, but we are, this is an expensive knife. We should be, making the extra effort and doing those extra little things. The weight here is 4.4 ounces. Pretty good ratios, not bad. There is, of course, milling for weight reduction. The balance on this knife is a little tiny ways back from pivot. Not bad. Pretty good. Let's do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools as per usual. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use in this channel. So this is a T8 for the pivot and also T8 for the body screws, which, by the way, are only on the back side. There's nothing showing on the front, which is cool. That's a nice touch. The presentation side of this knife is, there's not a ton going on, but it does look nice. I appreciate it. I like when they don't show the hardware, so that's pretty cool. It's a liner, a nested liner lock, titanium frame. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness here, and then we can get into the meat and potatoes of this knife. The blade stock is about 155 thousandths. That's pretty typical of WE knives. Meat and potatoes time. Not an incredibly, new profile. We've seen this profile many, many times. We have a nice, straight, clean aesthetic with a Wharncliffe style blade, and it will work. I mean, this is a knife that, if you absolutely love this aesthetic, yes, WE knives are made well, and that blade profile will actually make a lot of common EDC tasks. It'll make short work of them, right? But there's not really a lot of uniqueness going on here. It's kind of neat how these lines come down and converge down here. Classy way to put the WE logo on there and keep it off of the blade. That's very nice. I do appreciate that. Also like kind of the satin finish of the titanium. Of course, that depends on which version you get. I don't really like the two-tone. I think this would have looked better without the two-tone, but you know what? There's a version that you can get that's not two-tone, so there you go. The jimping actually is very nice. It complements the standard, index finger well, this index finger position well. You are kind of jammed up against this flipper tab, and it's not incredibly sharp, but you are working up against that jimping, and I don't love how that feels. Ergonomically, I do feel the pocket clip quite a bit. The edges are a tad blocky, right? It's nothing like, oh my God, I can't, but it is not the most ideal ergonomic experience. You will, I think people who carry this knife and use it, and at this price point, I mean, obviously, if you're newer or you don't normally buy knives in this territory, it's hard to imagine that somebody would actually spend this much money on a knife and actually use it. And let me tell you, there are so many people. I mean, it is absurd. This channel, is, and it's not a flex, I'm just stating facts. I have over 800,000 subscribers, and I'm connected with a lot of different social media accounts where I see people showing their stuff constantly, right? Comments alone on this channel are over 250,000 a year. So as far as my awareness of people actually using stuff like this with video evidence, yeah, it's all over the place. It might not be as common as your everyman with your tack force from Amazon, but there are, I would say, tens of thousands of people just within this community who will not shy away from using stuff like this. So those people who do, right, after a while, your hand is going to get fatigued just because of the lines on this knife. It comes down to kind of a medium thick edge, just like you'd expect. Fit and finish in general, boy, that's a bitey edge, though. They do, actually, the feeling of that on my fingernail, sometimes you can feel it and you go, it dug in a little bit and happened there. WE Knives does do a good factory edge. In fact, all, Sencut, CVV, they all do a really, really good job. So it's nice. It'll for general tests, this is not the type of knife that I'd want to carry around and use continuously, for like lots and lots and lots of heavy cutting. So, got a nice tip if you want to do some puncturing there, definitely. They're going to be a little delicate, obviously, not something that I would call hard use knife. Pretty rare for me to say that about a liner or a frame lock, right? Unless it's got some sort of backup system. The edges of this are black, and I think that's actually where it looks better. The two-tone on the blade is on theme. I just personally don't like it as much, but it does work with this, I guess, because of the way that they've done the two-tone here on the bevels and the insides. Pocket clip, also cool. Little two-tone, little fuller right there. Looks good. Like I said, just a couple of screws there and nothing else. The pocket clip is not deep carry, but it's also not what I'd call shallow carry. It's kind of in between. Not my favorite thing, but okay. You do have a little lanyard bar back here. There is no mounting position on the other side for lefty carry, but they're completing a theme. I mean, like they're completing an aesthetic here with no hardware, so I get it, right? Pocket clip, not as stiff as you might expect, and also not as sharp as you might expect. In and out of the pocket is pretty easy. Like I said, detent's really good. You do have the stop pins. They're internal, right? So open position is garaged under the frame, and closed position is also garaged underneath the frame. So no worry about it contacting in the bad spot behind the plunge grind, which, by the way, there's the plunge grind. So you don't have to worry about that. We have completely and totally solid lockup, no lock stick. Close, but no double clutch. It is close, right? Here's the detent ball, and boop, it's up there. So we're good. No pivot lash, smooth and consistent in here. A clicky medium detent, and we do have perfect centering. It's okay. It's a WE knife. It's hardly a standout model, right? I assume this is an in-house design. This is kind of we needed something to fulfill the consistent, sort of the flow of traffic that we've created. And this is what we came up with. Very, very generic, very straightforward, not incredibly inspired, not a very memorable design. And for some reason, the base price of this is $284. Not the most atrocious price tag that they've ever had on their stuff, but there's nothing here that suggests this knife should cost over $250. So like most other WE knives, I think it's a little overpriced, but not quite as overpriced as I have been accustomed to dealing with when it comes to WE knives. If you like how this knife looks and you're in the market for, kind of a straightforward, minimal looking, kind of stylish 9-inch Wharncliffe, yeah, sure, you'll probably like it. There's really nothing here that makes me want to put this up on a pedestal, though. So, basically a boring, slightly overpriced WE knife. That's honestly what I think. But if you like it, hey, there's a link in the description. You can use it if you want. That's going to be it from me today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.